Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here tonight as I was able to check out another match on the WWE's Gravest Challenge not Gravest Challenge, Gravest Matches of the Undertaker on WWE Week. Honestly, I was home tonight and I never even went and checked out the WWE Network to see what was going to be on. Oh, after SmackDown, they showed part 2 of the JBL show, but I think that either by design or maybe even by mistake, they put up part 2 already on Monday, and I was already able to check that out. So if you're looking for a review of the Legends JBL show with Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H, it's already up. I already did a review on it. You can go check that out and see what they talk about on that show. But they did a 2-hour special talking about the gravest matches of Undertaker's career, which sort of spaced it out a whole lot over 25 years. It's hard to put 2 hours of matches into there. The first match was the Kamala casket match. Second match ended up being the Buried Alive match. Mankind versus Undertaker. This would be at In Your House 11, which would be in the fall of 1996. This was a very awkward time for professional wrestling. The In Your House card for In Your House 11. This basically was the main match that was being built up for the show. It was Undertaker and Mankind in the Buried Alive match. The show is actually called Buried Alive, but the main event, Shawn Michaels versus Goldust, probably isn't one that many people do remember. Psycho Sid beat Vader to become the #1 contender. Mark Merrow beat Goldust earlier in the night. How does Goldust have... Oh, because that's a dark match. So this actually was the main event of the show. I apologize. And Stone Cold Steve Austin beat Triple H earlier on in the night. So it was what it was. But this match, honestly, was pretty good. I thought this was a very, very good match. Of course, at this time, Paul Bearer was managing Mankind. He had turned his back on The Undertaker, and they had basically built this matchup as somebody was going to get thrown into the grave and they were going to get buried alive, as in we were never going to see them again. This was the first time that WWF had ever done a buried alive match. It was a very weird thing to try and figure out what this was going to be. No one knew if this was going to be taking place at a graveyard or what they were going to do, but I think it was a very good visual to have the big pile of dirt up there next to the ramp and the grave already dug, and basically you just have to throw your guy into the hole and cover him up with the dirt. This is a match that we've seen used a few times. WWF really doesn't overuse this all that much, but this was very, very fun. For being the first one, you're always going to be wondering what's going to be going down. Undertaker and Mankind both come to the ring, and they both really just start fighting it out right off of the battle. But Mankind decides that he is not big enough to hang with the Undertaker, so he tries to run away from the Undertaker, and he runs all the way like he's running up the ramp to run to the back, to only find out that he's ran right into the grave. As Undertaker's coming to attack him, Mankind picks up the shovel and actually whacks the Undertaker with it. Undertaker and Mankind start fighting over the shovel, and they're fighting back and forth, and the only way out of this is for Undertaker to grab a small package on Mankind, and they roll down the hill. A very, very funny thing to see. Two guys rolling down a pile of dirt. The only thing I was thinking of, Undertaker, once this match was all over, getting to the back and taking a shower, trying to get all of the dirt out of his wrestling gear. That's something that they really don't normally have to do this that much. But they finally do take the fight back into the ring, and Undertaker and Mankind really go all at it. Paul Bearer is involved in this match. We see at one time Undertaker climbs up to the top rope to hit Old School, and as Undertaker is walking the top rope, Paul Bearer jumps up and grabs the rope, gives it a little shake, which makes Mankind come down and rack himself, which gives Mankind the advantage in the match, and then they're going at it for a while. One thing leads to another. We finally see Taker. They have a fight outside of the ring, and Taker picks up Undertaker and gives him a flip over the top, and Mankind comes down right on top of the steel steps. That's enough to really, take Mankind out of the match. Undertaker throws Mankind back into the ring, picks him up, delivers the tombstone, and then walks him all the way into the grave. Undertaker throws Mankind into the grave, and he starts shoveling the dirt on him. Earl Hebner decides that this has been enough dirt and the man is buried alive. He rings the bell, says Undertaker is the victor, but Undertaker really wants to get rid of Mankind, so he's still shoveling the dirt. He ends up throwing Earl Hebner, and Hebner takes a bump down the dirt. Another referee comes running out of the back, and he's able to get rid of him. And then from the back, we see a masked man attack the Undertaker, who ends up being the executioner, who is played by Terry Gordy, famously of the Freebirds with Michael Hayes. And honestly, I don't know where I was in this time in professional wrestling, but I've seen pictures of the Executioner. I've seen him wrestle in matches on pay-per-views like this when I watch him back on the WWE Network, but I really have no memory of the Executioner. This is the guy that probably must have been there. He came in, he did this spot, he wrestled at the next In Your House, and then he must have just been gone. One thing led to another, and just, Vince didn't need him. Maybe he didn't fit what was going on in the company at that point. But the Executioner runs out and he hits Taker with a shovel. Terry Gordy, as the Executioner, jumps down into the hole and grabs Mankind. They pull him out of the grave, and next thing you know, Undertaker is being thrown into the grave. And at this point, there's so many guys in the back. We see Crush, we see Triple H, we see whatever Justin Hawk Bradshaw, whatever JBL was going by at this point. There's like 5 heels that just look at it, this is the time to finally get rid of the Undertaker. They come running out. Everyone's shoveling the dirt on top of the Undertaker to fill up the hole. And when the hole gets finished, we see, the lights go out in the arena, much like when Undertaker lost the casket match to Yokozuna at the Royal Rumble, I believe in 1992. And at this point, we see from the heavens above, lightning strike the ground of where the grave is. And then from the ground, we actually see Undertaker's hand shoot up through the dirt. And we know that Undertaker is still alive underneath there, which gives us hope that it's going to be a good day. But this match is much, much better than the Boiler Room Brawl from SummerSlam. I haven't seen this match probably since this match was on. So it was a fun match to watch. I highly recommend the Buried Alive Mankind versus Undertaker. This is on In Your House 11, Buried Alive, from October of 1996.